Hey guys, I'm back for another video and welcome to Hypixel SkyBlock, and today I'm here for quite a loaded video and it's 30 suggestions for Hypixel SkyBlock. Of course there's 30 of them and I gotta fit it into a short time frame, so let's go! As you guys know, the Dwarven Mines update completely destroyed foraging. Basically, you can't break logs instantaneously anymore with Efficiency 5 and Haste 3 and a Golden Axe. Now, the reason for this is because they added a perpetual mining fatigue to get the new mining system to work. But why don't they just disable the mining fatigue in certain regions? If you notice, it says forest on the side there, and then if I were to change regions, I'm in the village now. So why not just make it so that the mining fatigue doesn't apply if you're in the forest, or if you're on the entire island of the park. Another thing is that foraging in general is pretty slow even before the accidental nerf. You really can't get more than about 400,000 foraging XP per hour, which is less than half of most other skills in the game. Even fishing has gotten enough buffs recently to surpass foraging in speed. So I think there should be an added system to foraging in general, where if you break a block, it will have a chance to spawn a little woodlands creature that you can kill to get more foraging XP. This system would also be kind of cool because then you can add buffs to things like a tree capitator or a jungle axe to do more damage against woodlands creatures. As you guys might remember, they recently changed the ender chest and backpack system to the storage. Now you can't have backpacks in your inventory anymore and open them. You have to put them in these slots, which was to prevent duping. Now the problem with this is that we went from having a single click system to open your backpack. Now 1 click, 2 clicks, 3 clicks. They need shortcut items. There needs to be some item that you get to attach to any of these slots here in your inventory. You right click it and it instantaneously will bring you to whichever page of the ender chest or backpack that it's linked to. These would be great, and also be nice if you could make it so they work from right clicking in the inventory. So for example, instead of just right clicking it in person, let's say I made my first ender chest a menu to all my other ender chest pages, which would reduce the amount of clicks by 1, because I'd click here and then I'd click a second time and it'd bring me to whichever menu I want. One of the most painful experiences in recent memory in Skyblock was collecting the relics for the Spider's Den revamp. As you can see, there's one right there. They give you no buff whatsoever, except when you finally get them all, you get to craft this item that spawns the Arachne boss, which by the way is completely useless. We'll get back to that in a bit. But why not actually give a buff for finding all of the relics? Maybe like plus 10 HP if you find them all and talk to Shaggy. Speaking of Arachne, this boss fight is so useless. Like, there's no reason to spawn it. I've spent hours in the Spider's Den. I got to Spider 9 in one sitting, and there was like maybe 2 or 3 Arachne spawn the entire time. And the reason for that is that all you can really make from it is special bows that are pretty decent, but once you have it, you have it, and the price is ridiculously cheap. So what I'm suggesting is that there be a crystal frag equivalent. Dragons, as we know, are not profit. They're completely terrible in almost every way, except crystal fragments spawn, which could actually, you know, it brings purpose back to dragon fights. So I'm suggesting that maybe some renewable item come from the Arachne fights, something that you can't have enough of, something that people are constantly using up. And I think just better rewards in general. Like I said, there's no purpose to do this fight other than to get like 3 bows, which are, I mean, mediocre at best. So I don't know, I think this fight needs more incentive because it's pretty well made, and the Spider's Den in general is one of the best islands in Skyblock now, but the fight is just so meaningless. This is a quick one, but I think there should be an upgrade to the piggy bank. As of right now, it only works if it's in your inventory. It doesn't work if it's in your accessory bag, which I think is stupid. I always thought it was stupid. You should be able to upgrade this to, I don't know, a rare talisman, and it just works while in the accessory bag as well, because it's inevitable at some point cookie buff is going to run out and you're going to lose 100 million coins. So the new Mushroom Desert is a beautiful island, but it's just so, I don't know, I feel like the whole thing is kind of pointless, except for the Pelts system. As we know, Pelts are the way to get tier 12 minions in Skyblock, right? So the way it works, you pop over here, talk to the guy, you get Pelts from killing mobs, which you can use to get these minions here, and we look for the mob. which is right here. Then I come back. Why is this a thing? It's just like the Maddox bat phone did. Like, why is there a cooldown if it's only going to be a minute long? They've already reduced it from 5 minutes to 1 minute, but it's so arbitrary. It doesn't make things more difficult. It just makes it more annoying. I want to get my pelts for the tier 12 minions, but you're just going to sit here and yell at me for 60 seconds. As of right now, as far as I know, the Hungry Hiker NPC is also useless. I haven't spoken with him yet, because if you do speak to him, then he disappears after 2 days if you don't feed him. But I think he should have a specific quest associated with his, you know, bring him food or whatever. He doesn't do anything, so why not make him do something? Maybe a new pet that assists in getting the pelts. Like I said, the pelts are friggin' annoying to get. Maybe he could give you a fox pet, which helps you track these mobs. Maybe you can follow the fox as it chases after the endangered mob, and then maybe it could kill the mob for you if you get close enough. Even the legendary ones that disappear if you get too close. And also, if we're going to be doing that, there should be more purposes for pelts. I mean, think about mithril powder, right? Which is basically the same thing, but for the dwarven mines. A mithril powder can be used to upgrade a million things. So why is it that pelts only give you tier 12 minions? I think pelts should also... I don't know. They said that they're planning on a version 2 of Dwarven Mines, but honestly, I think the new farming island is in desperate need of an update V2, because there's just so much useless stuff. Like, it's such a beautiful island, but there's just no reason to be here except for literally just the pelts. Like, this guy has a chance to give you 5 coins worth of items. Like, what? There's no reason to be here. Like, actually make use of this awesome island that you made. Speaking of the Dwarven Mines, I think that there should be some additions to help mining speed, because as of now, it's ridiculously slow to get. I mean, I've got my Sorrow set here. Also, why not add a reforge that adds mining speed? For example, to Sorrow, right? There is fleet on pickaxes, but there's nothing for armor. Oh yeah, another problem that I experienced in the Dwarven Mines before I sold my drill is that this upgrade called the Goblin Omelet is actually a downgrade. It's terrible, because what it does is it regenerates a fuel every 20 seconds, which sounds innocent enough. I mean, assuming it worked perfectly, what the hell's the point? But it doesn't work perfectly, because every time it gives you a fuel, it resets the item meta, and then it makes the break animation reset halfway. So every 30 seconds, your break is interrupted because of this Goblin Omelet. So I suggest instead making it so the Goblin Omelet gives you a percentage chance not to consume fuel when you break a block. That way you still have a similar effect where you have a higher fuel efficiency. Also, you can tweak the numbers to make it actually worth something, but it also won't reset the break animation halfway through breaking blocks. Speaking of mining speed being not worth it, if we go back to the forge, you might notice that all of the drill upgrades are ridiculously expensive. This titanium plated drill engine, nobody in their right mind would get 10 drill engines. These things are way too expensive for what they do. What does this give you? Plus 100 mining speed? It costs almost as much as the drill you're putting it on. For 100 mining speed, not worth it at all. So I think not only should the price be nerfed, maybe to, I don't know, instead of 10 drill engines, maybe like 3, the buff should be increased, or the price should be decreased, or both. Anyone who watches my solo series might remember a funny moment when I tried to put a dwarven super compactor on a clay minion. Turns out if you do that, they make bricks. Who the hell wants to get bricks from a minion? Knowing this game, there's probably some other recipes that I'm not aware of that also break certain minions. So make sure that, I don't know, it makes sense to upgrade to dwarven super compactors, because right now if you want to have clay minions, it's just freaking annoying. And back to the dwarven mines, one of the most annoying things that I had to deal with when getting to mining 60, well beyond Heart of the Mountain 5, right? I have 4 commission slots: Ice Walker Slayer, Lucky Raffle, Royal Mines, Mithril, Goblin Raid, whatever. I think Goblin Raid and Lucky Raffle are the most annoying commissions. You have to wait for an event, right? Which, you know, is innocent enough, I guess, if you have 4 slots, but it's incredibly annoying. So what I'm thinking is there'd be some more commissions added, so there's a lower chance to actually have to do a raffle. So I'm thinking, what if there was a Ghost Slayer commission? That'd be freaking neat. Maybe kill 10 ghosts. Then, and you would unlock it at Heart of the Mountain 5 to prevent noobs from just walking down here to their death. And also, I don't know if this is intended or not, but Lucky Raffle and Raffle are two separate commissions, but they're both for the same event. I think there needs to be several, at least 3 or 4 new commissions added, just to reduce the chance of having to do a Lucky Raffle and a Goblin Raid, because when you have to do both, you have to wait a minimum of like 40 minutes just to clear your commissions. As of now, the buff from farming for dummies is basically, it's like magic find levels of nothing. I get 64 farming fortune for logarithmic counter and 32 for collection analysis. Meanwhile, farming for dummies gives 5. Like, what the hell's the point? Farming's been so incredibly weak ever since the nerf. It's just so incredibly useless, and these tools are in desperate need of like higher drop rates. So we all know that basically every player in SkyBlock beyond the first like day and a half of gameplay has a permanent AOTE. Like, AOTE is basically a permanent part of your hotbar unless you have a Hyperion with Wither Impact, and even then people probably would still have an AOTE because it's cheaper to use. And as you know, the Warped Reforge makes it into a pretty decent weapon. But the problem is, right, the Warped Reforge is only really worth it if you plan on using the AOTE as your main weapon. Now, if you have something like a Livid Dagger, there's literally no reason to use a Warped AOTE because it doesn't benefit from having the higher crit chance or the higher attack speed or the backstab ability. So why not make it so that Warped adds 2 blocks of teleport range, similar to strong dragon armor? So then it could be meta to have strong dragon armor as well, because then you could teleport a total of what, 4 blocks farther. Also, if you recom a warped AOTE, it doesn't give any additional buffs. It's literally just a cosmetic thing. So it would be nice if you also got an additional buff for recomming the weapon. Then it'd actually be even more worth using. I don't know, just a thought, I guess. The warp stone is worth a lot of coins, and as of right now, there's no reason to get it. Okay, so we all know that the update that brought the storage also broke Basket of Seeds Builder's Wand and Nether Wart Pouch, and it made it so you can't put them in ender chests, and you can't use them. So here's my suggestion. Why the hell did these items have inventories in the first place? Like, why not just use the seeds and blocks from your inventory? Because the fact that they have an inventory, they've been disabled for over a month and a half now. So why not just remove the inventory feature altogether from these items? Or if you're gonna insist on them having an inventory, have like a specific page for them. So, you know, the storage has ender chest slots, it has backpack slots. Why not have like a builder's wand slot? Okay, speaking of the basket of seeds and the nether wart pouch, first of all, why are those items separate? They literally could just be the same item. Like, why did nether wart is just another crop? Why did they have to make a separate pouch for it? That's kind of dumb in my opinion. But there should also be the feature to be able to, you know, place cane. Just make it all one item. Why does the nether wart pouch even exist? Or just make the basket of seeds work with all the crops, nether wart, and cane. And cocoa bean. I personally love the Bestiary system. It provides a lot of incentive to play all aspects of the game, especially Spooky Festival. Check here, I literally spent this morning doing Spooky Festival Bestiary collections to get some combat XP. I think this was a genius system because otherwise a lot of players don't even bother with Spooky. Now my question is, why not also add fishing mobs, sharks, which would promote doing the fishing festivals with Marina? You could add mythological mobs to promote doing the Diana event, Slayer bosses, mini bosses from Slayer. I don't know. I think that the Bestiary is a great way to promote playing all aspects of the game. So why not make it work in all aspects of the game? Another easy opportunity for Hypixel to make money. They should add, as you can see, there's auto pet rules. They should add auto armor rules, which would work pretty much the exact same way. This one's going to be controversial. So as you guys might know, again, the update that brought the storage made it so that backpacks don't work like they used to. So you can't trade backpacks with items in it because you can't put items in backpacks, which pretty much completely killed off a lot of scams coming from backpacks. And it made it so you can't trade mathematical hoe blueprints anymore without dropping them on the floor for another person to pick up. So what I suggest to completely kill that system entirely, because as we know, scams are bad, and skipping progression by buying things like mathematical hose is bad. So why not make it so that these items, when you buy them, are tagged specifically with your co-op ID, such that you can't even pick it up unless you're on the same co-op. This is just a little one, but I think Blast-O-Lanterns, Tasty Cheese, and Sorrows should be added to the Bazaar, because why not? If there was for example, a farming crystal and I had a bunch of melon minions, this would only work while I'm online. So here's my suggestion. Just remove the range requirement altogether. Make a crystal just work island wide. And same for beacons as well. Make them work island wide. Range is just arbitrary at this point, because you can build your island however you like. It doesn't add challenge to have a range. And it's literally a worthless upgrade to add range to a beacon. And considering that minions work in the first place, there has to be some way to calculate whether or not something's placed when you log off. So have it so that when you log off, the game's like, hey, he has a crystal placed on his island. That means his minions will get a certain percentage buff. Same with the beacon. Oh, and on top of that, if we go to the pets menu, you guys might remember that the rabbit pet gives you a farming minion buff. This also doesn't work if you're offline. Now, here's the thing, right? We all know on an API level, when you log off, it still shows that you're using a specific pet. If you equip the rabbit and then log off a skyblock, the game still knows you have a rabbit equipped, so why not give the buff? Like, minion buffs don't work while you're offline, which is really annoying, because the whole point of minions is to work while you're offline. Here's a quick one. I think the Coliseum should be brought back. Instead of being PvP, it should be PvE. So basically what would happen is you talk to an NPC, they rig you up with a fight with some strong mob. Oh my god, this area is so laggy. Talk to the NPC, it spawns you in a boss fight. There's going to be a ridiculously difficult boss, and if you kill it, you get some reward. And if you're a passerby that's just observing the fight, you can bet on who's going to win, the player or the mob. I don't know, it'd be kind of cool, like a Greek Coliseum. Or similar to the Thorn, if anyone's played Fallout New Vegas. Okay, this one's really, really niche. But the saving grace procs in dungeons. So if you die in dungeons, then you get teleported out and back to your island. I think that's not intended behavior. That's pretty garbage. And finally, oh no, I fell off my island. Ah, no, I broke a crop. Let me fix it with one of these hoes. I don't know, the potato hoe. It doesn't till the soil, even a fully upgraded hoe. It doesn't till the soil. I literally need to have a rookie hoe for the specific purpose of just retilling the soil and then putting the carrot back. And while we're at it, you might as well add the delicate enchantment as something that you can put on boots, right? Delicate 5, avoid breaking stems and baby crops. Just add that to boots. Anyways, that is it for 30 suggestions for Hypixel SkyBlock by ThirtyVirus. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would highly recommend you do that. Always appreciated subscribing to the channel. This is going to be a long video. I apologize. I'll try and edit it down as short as possible, but we'll see. Anyways, leave a like on this video as well to prove that the admins need to see this. Well, anyways, I guess that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.